Hi everyone, Dr. Thompson here. I wanted to talk with you a little bit about rhetorical analysis. This will be the next paper that you write in your series of research papers focused on the one topic that you've chosen from your career field. And so in talking about rhetorical analysis, I wanted to present the rhetorical triangle. And you learned some of this terminology in your textbook this week, but I wanted to touch on this a little bit more. I think this visual may help you a little bit. So rhetorical triangle the rhetorical triangle has three components. We have three corners to a triangle, right? And so we have three components to an argument. And that's why we use the rhetorical triangle. And when we do a rhetorical analysis, we're trying to ask basically, is this an effective argument? And in doing that, we're going to look at and analyze these three components of an argument. The first component is the author of the argument, the person or people or organization that's making the argument. The second component is the argument itself and what it's claiming. And the third component is the audience, the people that are receiving the argument. And so your book gave you three new terms to use when you are analyzing these components of an argument. So the first terminology or term is ethos, and ethos has to do with the credibility of the author. Do we trust the author? Does the author have credentials that makes this person um, credible, that makes this person knowledgeable about this information? So does the person have a degree or several degrees in this particular field? Has the author spent a lot of time working on this topic or studying this topic or writing about this topic? What in particular gives this author some sort of credibility, some reason for us to trust him or her? And sometimes there is plenty of ethos, and sometimes there's not a lot of ethos. You have to be a little bit of a sleuth to find this out sometimes. You might not find it right in the middle of the article or the source, whatever the source is that you're looking at. Sometimes you have to actually go to Google and you have to search and find maybe the author's website or go to LinkedIn and see if they have a LinkedIn page. There are a lot of different things that you can do to learn about an author. The second component is logos, and this has to do with the argument and the claim that's being made, the reasons that are given to support the claim, and the evidence that's provided to support the claim. So, does the argument provide statistics, charts, graphs, anecdotal evidence? There are a lot of different types of evidence. Your book gives you a list of those that can be used to support a claim. And so, what you want to do in a rhetorical analysis is to look at this evidence and to evaluate if the evidence is sufficient to support the claim or not. Does it make the claim strong or does it make the claim weak based on the evidence? And then the final component is pathos. Pathos has to do with the audience and specifically how the author and the argument evoke emotion from the audience. Some sources don't use a lot of pathos. They might use more logos because maybe they're academic articles and they're written for a specific audience, and they would lose credibility if they tried to rely on pathos. But some sources, like opinion editorials, will rely heavily on pathos. They're going to use certain language, certain examples, certain anecdotes to try to make their audience feel something. There's an emotion involved. Are they trying to make you feel anger, happiness, anxiety? What is it that they're trying to make the audience feel? And then um, do they do that successfully? And does that pathos strengthen the argument or weaken the argument? That's the ultimate claim. So these are all the different components of rhetorical analysis. I'm going to back up so we can get a the big view again. And so that's the rhetorical triangle. So when you get ready to write your rhetorical analysis, you're going to want to look at each component and analyze them separately and then look at them as a whole and determine if the argument is effective, if it's a strong argument, or if it's an ineffective or weak argument based on these three components.